What's up, viewers? I'm Nuf and today I'm going to be showing you how to use Photoshop to create pixel art from a reference image, and then also how to create pixel art without that reference image to start off with. So let's get stuck in. I'll post the times from when I'm creating it from the reference image to when I'm actually making those animations which require just pixel art from scratch. So I hope you enjoy. Consider liking and subscribing if you do, and let's get stuck in. Hey, so this is what my reference image is going to be. It's a bat, obviously, and the idea is to create a pixel art from it, and then I'm going to use that pixel art within my Unity project, make animations from that and all that. So I'm going to show you that later, and yeah, let's get stuck in. So the first thing you want to do is actually check that your layer is unlocked. So mine is. If it's locked, it's going to look like that, but we don't want it locked. So now we can edit it. And then we're going to go to our Magic Wand tool just here. Also, you can use W to quickly select it, and you're going to make sure your tolerance is on 40 because you want to be able to select all this black area really quickly and just delete it. So really simple there. And then the second step is essentially we need to get this image and make it a pixel art. So we're going to select all of this, Control C, and copy it over here. So this is a different, obviously it's a different document. It's what I'm going to be, it's 80 by 80, 72 resolution. So it's what I'm using within my game, and all my sprites are made out of this particular block. It's just to keep it standard. So we're just going to copy it in here. Alright, so now that we have copied it, the first thing that we want to do before we make it bigger is actually, so as you can see it's way too big, but the first thing we want to do is go to Filter, Pixelate, which is just here, and then Mosaic, so here. And we're going to make it, for me I want it 4, I don't want it too pixelated because we are going to basically make it the right size, but for now just go 4. Obviously you can go more if it's a big image, that may be what you want, and okay. And then we obviously need to then scale that down, so we're going to go Edit, Transform, Scale, and we're going to scale this down from 100 pixels to maybe 30. That is looking alright, but I think I want to scale it maybe to 25 instead, just because that's seems pretty large. So we're going to go 25, tab 25. Alright, so now that we've scaled it down and we got it to the pixelation that we want, and it's looking pretty good, but we have this issue of we have these transparent little pixels here, and we don't really want those, or at least for me, I don't really want those transparent pixels there. You might, but for me I don't. So what I am going to do is I'm going to select one of these kind of dots, one of these darker dots, and we're going to go, pixels, and we're going to go OK. And we're going to use our draw tool. As you can see, I've already got it selected. That's just B if you want to quickly select it. And then I'm just going to go around the outline just to kind of help define this bat. So got that brown there, but I don't want it to be brown all the way around. So I'm going to just quickly select one of these squares, and you want this opacity to be 100 so that it's obviously like you can see it fully. It's not going to be pixelated, so I'm just going to go around the outside here. So one of the other options you can do with fixing up these transparent part is actually the erase tool. So that's E, and then we can go around here. Hold on, E, it's not selecting. And then you can just go around the outside, delete the rest of these. So I want it to not be too thick essentially, and so I'm just gonna quickly go around the outside here and just delete all this kind of see-through stuff because I don't want it to be see-through. I don't. So now that I've gone around the whole outside, I'm not too happy with the way some of this blends in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blur tool. So just come down here and there's a blur tool here, and definitely don't want that on that side. So we're going to go down to probably about 2 pixels. Just going to tuck that in, and we're just going to blur around the edges here. As you can see, these are just getting a bit lighter, and the bits closer to it is getting a bit darker. So just quickly go around the outside, make it a bit blurrier. Alright, so I actually don't really like these hooks, so I'm going to quickly just add a little bit more in. So now I'm going to go to the next part of the video, which is then making this into something animated. So this wing is essentially going to come down. So for this, you're actually also going to want a reference image. So I had this on my computer, but I figured I'd just bring it to Photoshop to actually show you guys. So I'm going to zoom in. So obviously, I'm not going to replicate this sprite because it's not going to be my own. But what I want to do is essentially create this animation here. So it's going to get, also as it's flying, it's going up, and then it's falling back down until it gets to back to this position. So we're having 4 animation positions. So far we've only really made this one. We now want to make this one and this one and this one. So we obviously need to then do that in the pixel art itself. So we're going to come here and we're going to get to work. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, or the first thing I'm going to do, you don't necessarily have to do this, is cut an area using this tool, the Lasso Tool, and just move it out of the way, because I'm going to use this wing kind of as, I guess, like a color reference. I'm going to use the colors within this wing to create that second animation, and we're just going to cut it and paste it, and then we're just going to move it into this corner. And yeah, so that's kind of what I want to be doing. And then I want to also decrease the luminosity of this area, or like this kind of area. We want it to be light on the wing. As you can see, if you come across here, it's light, or sorry, wrong image, but this one here, it's light here. I don't know if you can see my cursor that well, but just this, it's light at the tip here, but then the rest of it, like especially here, it's very, very dark compared to what it is here. So we want to decrease the luminosity of the vast majority of this wing. So what I am now going to do with this one, now that I have cut it out, is cut it again. Cut this into another piece. So I'm going to go, not that tool, we're going to go this tool, select that layer, and we're just going to cut up through here and around. Okay, so then we're gonna, so then once we have just cut that, well, not cut it, but selected the area where we want to make darker, we're gonna go image, adjustment, brightness and contrast, and we're just gonna decrease this brightness. So negative, negative, negative. Okay, that's probably a bit too far. Probably about there. Up to negative 30. For obviously you can do that however you want, but there. That's what I want, that kind of darkness. And then we're going to get to work with that. So we're going to use that, move that probably a bit more into the corner just so that we can see the whole bat. And we're going to start off with getting that part of the wing there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually just cut a large majority of this out. We're going to rotate that. So what we're going to do is go edit, go down to transform again, and we're going to go rotate and just rotate. until we got to a point which we're kind of happy with. So I'm just gonna go back here, get another look. Yeah, it's just kind of rotated like that. So obviously I exited there. So I'm just gonna go transform, rotate, and rotate it down. So for me, I think that's pretty good. We're just gonna click that kind of there. And then the rest of it has to be a bit darker, obviously, and it's gonna basically go down to the shoulder. So we're gonna just get drawing the basic shape. So I'm gonna actually just select white because it's very high contrast in this area. And we're just gonna kind of create the shape of the wing. So I'm gonna quickly fast forward and cut back once I have more of a wing structure. So here we are. I've got more of a wing structure ready to kind of work on, although I think I probably need to add a little bit there, but yeah, we'll fix little bits of like that up later. So now we're just going to kind of mix and match colors. So we're going to go here and just basically blend it in and make it look like the wing. So we're going to use colors from up here, use the dropper tool to essentially select the colors from here and then drag it down here. Don't try and make your own colors because it is unlikely to look as good. Use the dropper tool, use a reference image. So I'm going to skip forward and come back when I have more to show because yeah, this is kind of So I just finished kind of making the first part of it. So I noticed one issue is that now I'm looking at it again is that this kind of brighter part where you can't see my arrow, but hold on. Yeah, the kind of brighter part here is just not blending well with the upper part of the wing. So I'm going to quickly make a darker line there and I'll cut back. So as you can see, I've just added that extra contrast line in, and as you can see, just the little things, they make quite a big difference. And if you look at our reference image, so this one down here, I didn't really realize it. This was here before. I thought I was just looking at this one and kind of flipping it in my head, but you look at this and it looks very similar. Theirs is obviously very, very pixely. Mine isn't half as pixely, but yeah, you look at our image, it's kind of probably a bit further up, but that'll work just fine. And yeah, so now I'm gonna just quickly cut this wing out. So I've just selected this wing and I'm just gonna cut this wing out and then we're gonna save it and I'm gonna get to work on the rest of the bat animations. So I know I said that I was gonna cut past all this, but I thought I'd just quickly show you kind of a different way I'm going to approach this problem. So if you come to this bad ideas folder and you look at this, it's just kind of like the wing has gone down, but it's just the same wing. So what I actually kind of thought I'd do is cut this out using the Lasso Tool. And so I'm going to draw a line along here and cut all that out. I haven't selected the layer. So we just cut that, and then I'm going to go to my image and adjustments, brightness and contrast again, and then we're going to bring that brightness down probably to about that negative 35, about where we were when I made the other one, and then we're going to go, okay, I'm going to erase this part here, of the other wing, because that's something I'm gonna have to do just by myself, just manually, no matter what. No way to avoid that. And then I'm gonna go edit, transform, and I'm just gonna go flip vertically. And then I'm just gonna rotate that to where I think I need it to be. So I'm gonna go rotate and just rotate it until, well, the bat's too low, but hold on. Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, move the whole bat up itself so that I don't have to deal with that. And I'll deal with the positioning of everything later. And then I'm gonna move that, probably just rotate that a little bit just so you can see the bat's head and it's not, cutting anything out. And a little bit more, there. So obviously I need to erase all that, but that's a very quick way of getting my animation ready to put into Unity. And this is one thing that you can kind of think about. If you can think about things like this and ways to kind of shortcut it, it can really speed up your processes. And just knowing the different transforms and what you can do with them, yeah, it can really speed things up. So I'm going to quickly then just edit this using erase and the pen tool, and yeah, I'll cut back. Okay, so I know that I did say that I was gonna just skip through and just bring you back once I had all 4 of the animations made, but I'm just not doing that. So this one I'm gonna also approach a little bit differently. We're doing this last animation here, which looks nothing like the other animations. The wing looks quite a lot different, but you can use some of the tools in Photoshop to really speed up the process of making these images. So again, for this one, we're going to select this layer and cut out all of this wing. I didn't really like that cut, hold on. So yeah, you're just going to cut out whatever shape you really need. This is kind of just an example, so just kind of think about the way you can use these tools when you're making yours. So Control X, Control V, and you can paste it back down. And then for this one, we're going to go Image Gain and Adjustment and Brightness and Contrast, because it's going to be kind of down a little bit. There's going to be a bit more shadows, so we're going to go -10, but it's not going to be that much because, yeah, it is not going to be down too much. It's going to have all that brightness, but yeah, we're just going to go -10 to kind of just contrast there. And then we're going to go to our Edit, and we're going to go to transform, and we're going to go to Skew. And for Skew, so hold on, let me just show you guys. So we want to make that kind of height of the wing a lot smaller. So, well, actually, firstly, I think we should probably rotate into our position that we need. So we're going to go to Edit, Transform, and Rotate. And, oh, well, we should probably flip it first. Transform, flip vertically. And we're going to rotate it to about there, I think. Yeah, that'll be good. And we're going to use our skew tool, and just make that kind of the shape that we need. So we're going to go skew, height, I'm going to maybe 50%. And I mean, that's kind of looks really compressed, but we are kind of going for that kind of compression. So we're going to go to 60%, I think it's a bit better. Yeah, all right, I think that's going to be good. Edit, transform, rotate, and we're just going to move it into the position that we really need. I don't really like that. Okay. Move that there, and that's good. And then we're going to go to our erase tool and just erase what is just not needed there. So I just finished the fourth bat, and I thought I'd bring you back and kind of show you all of them at once. So bat 1, bat 2, bat 3, and bat 4, and I did follow this quite accurately. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something. Showed you kind of two different ways on how to make your pixel art and then also how to speed up those processes. So in a future video, probably in a week or two, I'll show you how to animate those in Unity and how to do the script in C#. So consider subscribing and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. See you next time.